This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, and verse 6. And it reads, "Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai hath not done it?" I want to start off giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to call Loyim La Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rachakados Pakatam. Say double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, who teach and do rule well. Say peace and salutations to the Akim, across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Say shalom to the Akwat, as well as the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you I say shalom. It's your brother Yahweh Sap out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, and I'm coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Shema Shai. So basically, this lesson is in regards to an article I was saying on a Newsbreak app. I'm gonna just show you the title of the lesson. I mean, the title of the article, and just showing you, how the end of days is gonna be. And Salakia, well, the scriptures say that the Most High is gonna mock you through his men. So the Most High is gonna laugh at you, And how is he gonna laugh? He's gonna laugh through his men. Tells you. Well, I just brought it out. Amos chapter 3, it says, "Surely the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets." When you read Proverbs chapter 1, it talks about how, let me just get it. Wisdom is being spoken and basically being cried out on these highways and hedges. And, you have people who mock or fan the hand or disregard it. So when these calamities come upon the earth, the Lord is going to, mock and laugh and whatnot. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 1 and verse, I'm going to start at verse 24, and it reads, "Because I have called and you refused, I've stretched out my hand and no man regardeth. But ye have set at naught, but ye have set at naught all my counsel, and with none of my reproof. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh." So, these people are going to be in for a rude awakening, because basically these people bugging out. I ain't gonna say if it's the serpent juice. Stress can actually have people do things that they normally wouldn't do, and people are under a huge amount of stress, and even more so as the coming months come. When it gets hotter. I just did a lesson about that. They was talking about how violence was up, and we only in the second month, going on the third month of the year, and they talking about violence is already basically up more than last year, and we just started off the new year. So, it always gets more violent and deadly during the summertime. The heat. People interacting more. But just imagine all these things compiled on top of the fact, not enough food or people can't afford to eat. So yeah, this gonna be a violent summer. So with that being said, I kind of found it funny because, the scriptures talk about violence in the last days. And the article, the title, it says, "Georgia woman crashes SUV into Popeyes after her order was missing biscuits," authority says. So this woman basically spazzed out, a spirit could have hopped on her, but, she could have been that spirit. You know what I mean? Because people are, you really think that this woman's just really frustrated about the biscuits? Yeah, she probably was, but to the point, no, this woman probably frustrated about so many other things and just spazzed out. Scriptures talk about in the last days there should be perilous times. I'm gonna get that. It's the book of 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1, and I'm gonna begin it. It says, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come." So when you go to the word perilous, it means dangerous. "For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous," meaning wanting what another person has. And you about to see that even more again when some people can't afford to eat. They about to cut the stamps in certain states. They stopping the emergency allotments. And this is all by design. Again, inflation hasn't went anywhere. So why would you give someone something knowing that they need it and then take it away? Because they want a certain particular type of reaction. Um, it says, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, and holy. Verse 3, without natural affection. So people are going to be violent. Truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent. So when you go into the word incontinent, it basically means without a lack of self-restraint. So, we about to come into lawless times. You already got a lack of police officers. I know in my city, Cleveland, they were talking about how basically they got all these open spots for these police officers that they can't fill because of, the mandates from years ago. And just, people are seeing the violence on what's going on in the city. That's a spirit, because I seen a police officer today, and I know they're trying to figure out, like, basically, I guess they're going to close those positions. So now you about to have those police officers overstaffed. They already overstaffed, but even more so when the violence ticks up. Yeah, things will get dangerous. Also, he was talking about, like, the three deadliest cities in the state of Ohio, and of course Cleveland is number one. Then followed by Cincinnati and Toledo. So they said violence up in these cities, and it's going to be even more so by the time of the summer. It says fierce. Let's look at what the word fierce. Savage. And myries as a negative particle. Savage, fierce. It says despisers of those that are good, and they're going to despise us. The world's going to despise those that are, trying to hold true to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, trying to hold true to the law, statutes, commandments, because we're living in a world that's anti-Messiah. There's not one antichrist. It tells you in the book of what's that, 1 John chapter 2, there are many antichrists. All those that are opposed to the will of our big brother and our Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, all those that are opposed to, his law, statutes, and commandments, they are antichrist. 2/3 of our own people are antichrist. So I'm gonna read a little bit of the article, then a couple of scriptures popped in my mind. So, Lord willingly, this is edifying. It says, Georgia woman crashes SUV into Popeyes after her order was missing biscuits. It says, a Georgia woman recently was arrested after authorities say she purposefully crashed into the Popeyes restaurant. He made me think of a scripture because, it says she purposely did it because, this woman was ticked off. Woman up there like, where my biscuits? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It talks about in the book of what's that? Sirach chapter 10 about as the judge of the city is, so is the people. So, when you read Micah, let me get that real quick. Micah chapter 6, I think it's verse 12. It talks about, for the rich men, this is Micah 6:12, for the rich men thereof are full of violence, and the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, and their tongue is deceitful in their mouth. So the point is, the rich man is full of violence because these devils profit off of bloodshed. They fund both sides of a war to make, that's their biggest money maker. But, these devils produce things that actually do harm to the individual that they have consuming it. That's how he's not a prudent man. You're supposed to take care of your whatever your property is, from your cattle to your beast to your slaves. Like, slavery is nothing new. Slavery is even in the scriptures. I was listening to the Elder Apostle Tahar going into how you had Hebrews basically owning Hebrews. So slavery is nothing new. You still got slavery to this day. Why? Our forefathers and how we even got over here in the Americas is through slavery. But this devil trying to whitewash all this shit, one moment he's proud of what he accomplished through divine, the Lord was with, I was going to say through divine intervention, but the Lord was with this devil when he basically came into power. And the Lord going to be with this devil when he take him up out of it. But the point is, the spirit in this place is violence. This place was begotten by violence, and it's going to go out violently. So it's not surprising that this lady basically became violent because, over something so simple. And that's how how these people are losing it, bugging out. She literally is about to have a charge over some fucking biscuits. You know what I mean? Well, you could have easily just walked into the store and showed them that they didn't have the biscuits in the bag. It says, the woman identified as 50-year-old Belinda Miller of Augusta is charged with felony aggravated assault, which that ain't good. I think that's like a F4, and criminal damage to property in the first degree. Just after 7:45 p.m. Saturday, Richmond County Sheriff's deputies responded to the chicken restaurant in Augusta for an accident with injuries. Damn. The Popeye manager told deputies Miller drove her SUV into the east entrance after she became upset that her order did not have any biscuits, according to the incident report. The manager told authorities Miller's order was corrected and she received her biscuits prior to the incident, but Miller was still not happy. Prior to the incident, the manager said the woman made several threats to staff, even calling and threatened to drive her car into the building, according to the report. Damn. So she said she's going to do it. It did. She was a woman of her word. Not looking retarded. More than likely, a spirit jumped on her, though. But at the same time, as people are frustrated, like I said, again, with what's going on in their personal lives. And then, it's an old saying. They say pressure busts pipes, So, when there's so much stuff going on, it could be the littlest thing. It could be a little, when something's already overloaded, it'll be a little bit of pressure. Like what's that saying? The straw that broke the camel's back. The camel could carry a lot of weight, but it'd be that one little extra oomph that breaks it back. And that's how these people are going to snap the fuck out, And again, it caught my attention because she basically spazzed out. Like, this ain't no little light thing, you know what I mean? Like, literally, if they charging her with a felony, she tried to hurt somebody. One of the employees who was standing by the entrance was almost struck by the car during the incident, noted deputies. Miller continued driving after hitting and entering the building until her car was stopped by debris, according to the arrest warrants. After crashing to the restaurant, Miller fled the scene, according to the report. Her car was later found at her home. So, yeah, that's an open and shut case. So, yeah, these people are basically bugging the fuck out. And because we are under oppression. When you read the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, and the point is verse 7. Salakia. 7 and 7, it reads, it says, surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. When you go on that word mad, I probably needed to look at it up in a blue letter. But when you go into that word mad, it's basically, it goes into being crazy. Bear with me for a second. It's the word halal.
Strong's H, 1984. Halal.
And the point I want is definition F. It says to act madly, act like a madman. To rage, act like a madman. So the point being under oppression can make you go crazy. And basically, because everybody's being oppressed right now, especially with this inflation, with these taxes, with just the way this system's being ran, people are losing it. That's why you got people snapping and killing their family and all kind of, different incidents that's going on the planet right now. What I'm looking for. This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 65. Because especially our people are going to be oppressed. And that probably that more than likely was a nigger woman, a Israelite woman. But an Israelite woman will be in her right mind. She'll know who she is, and she'll be trying to follow the law, such as commandments to the best of her ability. A nigger woman is a woman that's stuck in Babylon and thinks she's a Babylonian. And, unless the Lord actually moves through her, his spirit is, moves through her, she's going to be basically put in a position where she's going to be destroyed on this side. But, scriptures talk about how we're going to be cursed. This Deuteronomy chapter 28 goes into the curses, and nobody else fits these curses except for certain nationalities of people, which tend to be the so-called blacks and Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, West Indians, and the Haitians. They fit these curses, not those Khazars or those so-called Amalekites or those fake Jews. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 65. I'm going to start at 64. And it says, and the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people. And you have our people scattered among all people. So they may look like the other people or the other nations, but the spirit of an Israelite is the spirit of an Israelite. The book of Romans chapter 8 talks about the spirit beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. It's not a carnal thing, and that's what makes it funny, because all these different people talking about how spiritual they are. Well, that's a spiritual stumbling block right there, because it's not about the outward appearance, but it's the inward man. And the scriptures say that that's how the Most High judge of men, not by the outward appearance, but basically by your spirit, your heart. It says, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other powers, which in America, our people are serving everything but Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and that's why 2/3 will be destroyed. It says, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. Verse 65, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest. But the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua shall give thee there a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. And that's going back into that madness. Our people are bugged out and fucked up. And point example is that Israelite woman, because I'll guarantee you that's an Israelite woman. That just sound like something a nigga woman to do. But she's going to be looking very foolish after when she come back to her senses. Because like I said, this possibly carries jail time. It ain't no possibility. I ain't saying she's gonna go to jail, because then the Most High can do whatever he want. But at the same time, it'd be fucked up to go to jail at 50 years old. I remember dude was talking about, it was this old school dude that, always had a good job and, owned houses. He worked. And he waited till he was like 55 to start trying to sell dope and caught a case. Like that. Who do that? That's like some asinine ass backwards type shit. And the same thing for this lady. Now, I don't know her, I'm estimating and guesstimating actually, but more than likely, you know what I mean? Like, in your later years, you're supposed to have, they say more people become millionaires at the age of 50, most people, because they have to, grow up, they have to learn the system, yada, yada, yada. So at the age of 50, you would think, that woman wouldn't have made such a foolish mistake. But to show you, like the book of Micah chapter 7, is that Micah? No, I think it's Job. Job chapter 39 said the Most High did not basically give her wisdom. I think it's Job 39. The Most High didn't give the woman wisdom. And that's why it's a man supposed to be over a woman. But this devil has, turned everything upside down. That this place is not like that, you know what I mean? And, our people are the main ones that would never have no rest here. But now that's going to all the heathens and even, these low-level Edomites, in this country. Everybody's taking a beating, in this fucked up ass, wicked ass system. It's the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 4 and verse 1, and it reads, so I returned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold, the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter, and in the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. That's for 2/3 of our people and these heathens, because we have a comforter, which is these scriptures. We were given something that, majority of the people don't have and can't confess. We were given hope. We were given understanding of these scriptures. The Most High woke us up out of sleep. We were blind and now we do see. So that's, although we are suffering now, we are comforted by the words in the book, which is a living book, And again, 2/3 of our people don't have that comforter. And these heathens in Babylon the Great, these Babylonians don't have the comforter. The scriptures talk about in the book of Habakkuk chapter 2 that the just shall live by their faith, or just shall live by faith. Well, these people don't have any faith in anything. The average 2/3 or the average heathen or the average Babylonian doesn't have any faith in anything but the government. Which, when you go into the word government, govern means to control, and mint means your mind. So they about to really try to, be on some draconian control over everything. They basically about to try and create a system where nobody's going to revolt. You're just about to be the perfect slave. You know, and, you know, brothers that's in this truth that do this work, we are blessed to see this, you know, because the Lord could have left you in the world to be just one of these zombies or sheeple, but the Lord opened your eyes for a reason. Yeah, that's the point, because I was gonna get about you know, Ecclesiastes, Second Ezra is about how you know, how basically incontinency will be multiplied upon the earth. Many shall be looking for the truth. That's why it says, and it says, and salt water shall be found in the sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself. So this is Second Ezra 5:9. The wit that's hiding itself is this truth, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know, because we ain't gonna always be on the highways and hedges. You know, scriptures talk about how it's gonna be a famine of the word. And you could already see that. You know, if you can't, then you truly are blinded. You can see that because they've put in all kind of legislation and whatnot, where, you know, they talk about basically those that, you know, are speaking against the government should be basically all kind of matters of things should happen to them. What happened to free speech? You know what I mean? It says, and understanding withdraw self into his secret chamber and shall be sought of many. People gonna be looking for the truth. People gonna be looking for answers. You know, and ain't gonna be able to find none, and that's scary. Because, like I said again, most brothers had questions, and the Lord basically opened they, you know, they pineal their spiritual eye to what's going on in the world. You know, but just imagine when the Lord removes those men that can see. You know, and it makes all the sense too, because we've been, I mean, I've been in this truth for some years now. I'm a baby in this thing. But what I'm saying is, we've done this week in, week out, week in, week out for years. So it make all the sense that the Lord, not only is it scriptural and is written in the scriptures and prophesied to happen, but, you know, like that's how the Lord go, you know, he giving you your opportunity to get this truth now. And then those that rejected it, that's why 2 Ezra chapter 9 talks about that. They shall know about death by pain, because you basically rejected the truth, roughly paraphrase. It says, and shall be sought of many and yet not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and incontinency, meaning, you know, lack of self-restraint or lawlessness, be multiplied upon the earth. And that's nothing. Like I said, again, that lady was upset. The spirit probably jumped on her to do that foolish ass shit, because I know she feel goofy as fuck now, especially when you could be facing time. You damn near hurt somebody. That person probably trying to take it to the max. You know what I mean? They not caring that she 50 years old, or probably somebody's grandmother, no shit like that. You know? And again, that just shows you the foolishness of a woman. But, you know, like I said, you got a lot of things going on that they're not even talking about. I did a video, basically, these two guys basically robbed a disabled guy. You know, you got shit like that happening. So how much more so when it's be a woman and her kids, and guys basically breaking their house, take their food, rape the mother, do it, you know what I mean? You got men shooting mothers and their children, all kind of stuff. And you're going to have, you know, a lot more judgment come. So if you are so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the law, statutes, commandments of your power, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, or you will be destroyed. And with that, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory to call Loyam La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rachakadosh Rakatham. Say double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, who teach and do rule well. I'm going to say peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. I'm going to say shalom to the Akwab, as well as the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willing, this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, of whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come with another lesson, I'm going to say shalom, shalom, and shalom.